You watched the board with glinting eyes. You were hoping for the top spot in all your classes, but you were outsmarted. You didn't give him a chance. He was new after all. Not only that, he seemed dumb as well. You heard a grunt of acknowledgement from the side. You turned your head in slight curiosity, and there he is. How lowly you thought of him before. How annoyingly he got underneath your skin so easily. I must say, you bit back the bark that threatened to chase after your words. I am astonished. That I beat you, or that you actually lost? And he's got a sense of humor, you thought to yourself. Nothing of the sort, you said, though you knew you were lying, and that somehow made you feel as if Nir knew it too. Want me to tell you your mistake? He asked. Many students had filtered out of the outside hall where test scores were hung, but you stayed, and so did he. I don't make mistakes, you laughed. Then perhaps this was your first time, although I doubt that. You rolled your eyes and dropped your smile. I see. That there, he nodded, was your first mistake. Your eyes went from confused to angry in milliseconds. What are you trying to say? You stepped forward, and Nir, the new student with his owl-white hair and stoic expression, stepped out from the shadows. Incompetence, he said with disgust. It infuriated you. How could he look at you like that? You're the one who should be looking at him with disgust. Disgraceful, you said with the same distaste. His expression shifted. Soon he was a few feet away and wearing a smirk you'd never thought would have dared to adorn his face. You'd seen him in the locker rooms before, in the classroom when it was the girls' turn to change in the locker rooms. He was undeniably hot, but you would not falter because of that simple thing. He may be hot and smart, but that meant nothing if he was a complete dick. Just then you thought of his friend, and your face flushed. Are you sick? He stepped forward, now within arm's reach. He held out a hand and tried to feel your forehead, but you smacked it away before it could touch your skin. Keep your hands off me, you snarled, walking back toward your class to gather your belongings. Nir watched with an amused smile as you walked away. Girls could flock him all they want, but he would never be interested in any of them. The few guys that did try to flirt with would be left in the dust because he wanted you, and he would get you by any means necessary. The next day you walked into class to find Nir at the front with the teacher. He was talking seriously about something, maybe grades, but it could be something quite the opposite. Nir was a case, you'd give him that much. Just then, Nir pivoted on his right heel and leaned to the side, making eye contact with you. Another grin plastered on his face like it was the Hall of Fame. Your eyes jerked to the side, trying their hardest to focus on anything but him. It was irritatingly hard enough just to avoid staring at him without being caught, but with him teasing you, that would be a whole other carol show, with you ending up the final act of a clown. You huffed out and made your way to your seat, passing Nir on your way and purposefully knocking his shoulder with yours. He smiled wider at that, though you could not see, and bit the inside of his tongue to keep from saying something. He would say it later, though. He would not bite his tongue then, and he would revel in your reaction. Today, you had gym, and since the girls had changed in the locker room last time, it was now the boys' turn to make their way down the halls and change into the locker room. You opened your locker with a roll of your eyes, your mind still on Nir and his fabulously annoying arrogance, although you could not deny that you had some of your own. It just came with being smart, you guessed. You stepped out of your uniform, pants, and grabbed the shorts that were folded neatly in your bag, and pulled them on. You shoved your uniform pants back in your locker and your book bag along with it. You had the urge to go to the bathroom, so you shut your locker, then rushed over to the urinals and stalls. The line was not long. Most of your classmates had already left. You rushed back to your locker, taking your shirt off on the way, in a rush to hurry outside before you were late. You threw your shirt in the locker and pulled your book bag out. After some shuffles around through your books, you realized that your shirt had vanished. Now you would be late and without the right shirt. You were sure to get detention. All you could do was pray that the person never came forward, because you would be in much more trouble if you found out who'd been going through your things. Looking for this? Nir stepped out from a corner with a bunched-up shirt. You cringed at the wrinkles that would be left behind, but your second focus was that he had been the one to rifle through your locker. You walked forward with narrowed eyes and held out your hand. He stepped forward, and only then did you notice your non-existent difference in height. You both stood at the same range. Mortifyingly enough, you were the one that was shirtless, while he looked on in amusement. You snatched the shirt from Nir and shoved him once. He didn't flinch, but he did step forward and say, "If you wanted to touch me that badly, you could have just asked." The blush wasn't noticeable, you told yourself, and maybe that was true. Maybe it really wasn't noticeable, but the way your mouth hung open and the way you failed to respond with the coherent words said it all. Your logic went out the window, and what was left was a blurred mess. He leaned in past your ear and whispered, "Remember to breathe." Your voice betrayed you at that moment, and when he took another cocky step forward, leaning in to kiss you, your mouth did as well. This was a request and I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry that it was very short. But anyways, bye loves.